When there is a buildup of mana, a great number of beasts appear, causing chaos and destruction. These evil beings eliminate people without much difficulty. In a distant village, a small boy cried because of the chaos happening in his town. The boy's grandfather told him not to worry, as with his power, he would be able to defeat the demons. Although he promised to win, his grandfather ended up gravely wounded. The demons were defeated by his grandfather, but at the cost of his life. That day would never be forgotten by Noel. Noel wanted to become an adventurer like his grandfather and promised himself he would become one in the future. Over the next few years, he managed to form a group of 4 people. Even though they weren't very coordinated, with Noel's help, they were able to defeat the beasts in the dangerous caves. Noel's ability was to enhance his group's skills. Additionally, he had a talent for calculating the beasts' attacks. Although Noel often found himself in trouble during fights, he always managed to pull through. After defeating a dangerous beast, he couldn't help but remember his grandfather, who always protected him. Even though he had the ability of an enhancer, his grandfather told him that it was the best ability to be an adventurer, despite society viewing it as weak. Now that they had defeated the beasts, it was time to return to the city and collect their reward. This mission had been very difficult for them, so they decided to celebrate a little. However, his companion Walter began criticizing him for his obsession with money. Noel told him it wasn't any of his business, as he had been raised that way. Walter kept criticizing Noel for being the weakest in the group, only knowing how to give orders. The conflict between the two escalated, but the leader of the group intervened. They decided to leave the tavern and split the mission's earnings. It became clear that the group leader had a romantic relationship with Tanya, the group's mage. As they did the math, they realized that missions were paying less and less, which Noel didn't like at all. Noel came up with an idea to earn more money: create a guild using the last mission's earnings. The idea of starting a guild didn't sit well with the group leader and Tanya. However, Walter admitted that if they created a guild, they would get better missions. The group became divided. Noel's mission was to become one of the best adventurers, despite his weaknesses. Noel was determined to leave the group if they didn't accept his idea. The group's leader, Lloyd, gave him a strange look and said he agreed with Noel but suggested they meet the next day after the alcohol had worn off. They agreed to meet the next day. The following day, Walter arrived and explained that they had been betrayed. Their former companions had left the city with the last mission's money,